Hi everyone, I am Andrea Clausen, and today I wanted to share some nervous system practices that have been working for myself and my students over the last few weeks. And so this is a little bit of yoga sprinkled in with some other just kind of tapping and pranayama and some different techniques to help you ground. So we'll go ahead and start by finding yourself in a comfortable seated position, maybe sitting up on a bolster or a blanket. Palms might flip down. You might inhale in through the nose. Open mouth, exhale. And take that once more, breathing in through the nose. Sigh it out. And then just start to find your natural breath pattern. Not shifting or changing anything, but just observing where the breath is living right now. If you're feeling any tension or constriction throughout the body, maybe focusing the breath on that space. Relaxing the shoulders down and away from the ears. Softening through the glutes. And then starting to pull the breath all the way down to the low belly. You might start to inhale through the nose for a count of 5 or 6. Exhale through the nose for a count of 5 or 6. Finding your Samavriti breath, your even breath count. Taking this pattern for the next few breaths, knowing this can be your home base throughout your day. When you feel like you are getting a little ungrounded, coming back to that equal breath count. And then start to envision 3 golden rings being placed around your body in that protective energy bubble. As you go out into the world, having your energy, trying to not absorb other people's, so you're staying put and centered in your strength, in your energy. And we're going to take 3 rounds of a Brahmari breath without the hand mudra. You'll inhale through the nose and then make an exhale humming noise as you breathe out through the nose. It will sound like this. Taking that a few more times, inhale. Once more. Feeling that vibration in the body. You might take your 2 peace fingers and start to tap along the heart space, the front of the chest. Just softly feeling the body coming inwards. You might take both peace fingers now and just come up and over the eyebrows, out towards the temple. And then maybe softly circular motions around the temples. And then coming to where the jawbones meet. Gentle circles here. Often we can get really tense and tight through the jaw. And then coming down through the side, going down the throat, gently massaging here. And then just taking that, wiping off through the arms, that swiping motion. And then you're going to come to take a seat on your knees. You can have a blanket underneath for a little extra cushioning. You could also sit back on a block. We're going to take the Kali Mudra with a little bit of motion here. Kali Mudra, interlace your fingers, extend your index fingers towards the sky. I like to do a toe crunch right now because I find a lot of people's fascia is really tight, so maybe you curl the toes under so you're also opening through the feet. So as we do this, we're going to go ahead and find an inhale, lengthen. Exhale, sit down. Inhale to exhale. Good, so coming into that Kali Mudra, working on releasing obstacles, illusions, ego, tapping into Kali's strength, as well as her mothering and nurturing energy. The next time that we sit back on our heels, we're gonna hold here. Find that deep breath, feeling that fascia. We're gonna take the hands to the earth and just tap out the tops of the toes. And then as we prepare to stand, we're gonna come into Malasana or Yogi Squat. So heels in, toes out. If your heels are off the mat, you can always have your heels on the edge of a blanket. You could also sit down on a prop behind you. And so finding your version of this Malasana, I found this posture to be really nice to ground right now, working that Apana Vayu. And so anytime you need to just take that pause, resting here. Pressing through your heels, you're gonna slowly rise on up. Maybe just take a forward fold, taking ragdoll. And then gently rolling up to stand. We're gonna find just a few rounds of breath of joy. So what breath of joy is, the arm motions are going to be up, out, up, down. As we do this, we're gonna inhale sharply through the nose, inhale, and then open mouth, and just release what needs to go. So joining me when you're ready. one more. Ha. One hand on heart, one hand on belly. Maybe closing the eyes, taking your awareness internally, or maybe opening the eyes. And even in the darkness, trying to find that beauty. Finding that light. Releasing from here, and to finish, we'll just rest for a minute in a crocodile pose. Lying face down, heels in, toes out. Maybe that forehead comes to the back of the hands. If you want a little extra grounding, you can take a blanket or a sandbag, place it on your low back. And then from here, just taking that diaphragmatic Samavriti even breath count once more. You have something on that low back, you might remove it. Pressing up to take a seat. And then we're just gonna seal off this mini practice, and I want us to truly feel these words. We'll lift those palms together above our head, bringing them down to your third eye, trusting your intuition. Bringing your hands to your lips, speaking your truth. Bringing your hands to heart center, knowing yourself. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Bowing in so much gratitude. Thank you.